No.
I got that bitch on 1,000 right now.
All right, y'all. Welcome to episode 30. What are we at? Episode 32 of the Underhooks podcast. I didn't even tweet this out. I literally forgot to tweet this shit out. This has been a long day. Anyway, we'll have the video. Nobody's gonna be watching live, but we'll have the video. This is episode 32 of the Underhooks podcast. We just came off of a big pay-per-view, UFC 276. So we're here to recap it for y'all and break it down for y'all and go over a lot of things have changed coming out of this pay-per-view. I think we should go to some news first and then jump to the pay-per-view, and then we'll preview the card coming up this week, which is RDA and Fiziev back at our favorite venue, the Apex. We'll be back there, but it's the only time in July we'll be back there. But how was your weekend, bro?
It was good. Happy to be here to recap it. I do want to apologize to all our listeners. I told a lot of lies.
You need to.
I like to be transparent. I don't like to be that person that can't be accountable, So I'm sorry. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I was watching. I think my notes was messed up. You ever been in high school or something like that? You're not supposed to cheat in college, but you ever cheat on somebody's test and you kind of fuck up because
you say you're not supposed to cheat in college, like you are supposed to cheat in high school.
Yeah, you can cheat in high school. Don't nobody give a shit about that. High school, you can do whatever. It's a free for all. You learn it, but in college, it's time to show that you actually got some knowledge. You ever been cheating on somebody's test and you thought you had the right Scantron bubble, but you fucked up and now your whole test is just shit? That's what
happened to you.
Yeah. I was looking at your Scantron. I was like, oh, okay. He got Izzy losing bet. Let me put that bubble in there.
Well, now because of your 1 and 3 outing, I am now 1 pick ahead in the picks. I'm 47 and 40. You are 46 and 41. So we still neck and neck. We got plenty of time to catch up. But let's jump into some news first. John Jones says that am I looking at the wrong one? Oh, I need to look on my phone because this thing is looking crazy. All right. John Jones says that he wants Stipe, not a one-dimensional Francis coming off of knee surgery. They asked him who he wanted to fight, and obviously those are the 2 fights that have been linked to John, and he said, well, I think the right fight right now is to fight Stipe, not one-dimensional Francis coming off knee surgery. So let's file that away when he beats
Speaking
Stipe
of lies,
to fight Francis.
That man does not want to fight Francis.
He acted like he didn't see Francis wrestle Gone to get the win. He acted like he didn't see that on one knee, bro. Don't do that, John Jones. You don't gotta be disrespectful, brother. You don't gotta tell these lies.
It makes sense though. That may be. I think he beats Stipe, and then he gets more time to get comfortable at that weight.
I think it makes perfect sense to fight Stipe now. Even if Francis was healthy right now, I would think that having a fight at heavyweight would be against Stipe first would be great. And also, it's been interesting because they've both been gaining weight, both Stipe and John. John's obviously gaining weight so he can compete at heavyweight. Stipe came into the Francis fight at 233, which is insane that you would go fight Francis being that light. That's insane. So apparently, Stipe has put on 20 pounds of muscle. He's closer to 250 now, a little over 250 now. And he's going to have to be that. That's a good thing for Stipe going forward, just having that extra muscle. Obviously, he's not putting on fat. He's putting on muscle. So both of them are putting on muscle and trying to gain weight the right way. So it's going to be really fascinating to see if this fight ever fucking happens, what they weigh in at, just because they'll both be weighing it at something that they never weighed in at in a fight before, which would be pretty cool. And that shit's going to matter, especially if Stipe thinks that wrestling is his key to victory here, because he damn sure don't want to sit there and strike with John Jones. So that extra 20 pounds could really come in handy for him, especially against a guy who's coming so far up. I had something else on John Jones and Stipe. Where did it go? Oh, okay. John says he's ready to go, but hasn't heard from the UFC. And if they don't make this fight soon, everybody's been talking about this fight for months. If they don't make it soon, Gon and Tuivasa are about to fight, and Aspinall and Blaze are about to fight. And I know what you feel about those fighters, but those dudes are going to be the winner of those 2 fights is going to make a claim that they should be fighting for either the belt or the interim championship at heavyweight. So they got to get this fight booked. So we don't even got to deal with that shit. We ain't got to
Exactly.
think about that. We ain't got to worry about that. Let those dudes say whatever they want to. But as long as we got the fight booked already, we ain't got to worry about that. So please book this fight. Hopefully it gets booked soon. Gilbert Burns says UFC is trying to book a Masvidal fight for him, and Jorge has already said that he's down. I would love to know your thoughts on this potential fight.
No, absolutely not. I told you last time, I feel like Burns deserves way more respect. I think a lot of people gave him respect in his loss to Kamzat. So Masvidal is not at that level at all.
Burns wants this fight for that reason.
Yeah, Masvidal is a huge win.
Yeah, it's an easy win. You can make a lot of money, and you definitely know you can. Like, there's no way, and you know how I have disrespected Gilbert Burns on this podcast before, but there's no way that Masvidal is beating that guy. There's just no way. There's no way. So I will give Masvidal some props for being down to take that fight, or at least saying he's down to take that fight.
But he damn
sure don't need that fight.
Why does he get props for that?
Because he should be. He's a money guy already. He should be trying to find the easiest fight that he could continue to make a lot of money. And Gilbert Burns is by no means that fight. He's not trying to take the easy way out. He
should be happy that somebody's offering him a fight.
He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC. He can always find a fight.
But that's like the Diaz is one of the biggest stars. Okay, but he's not good. Like, he does not move the needle at all.
You don't got to be good to move the needle. That's the point. People gonna watch the Diaz fight until he's 93 years old.
I can't wait to see Masvidal put his gloves in the ring. That's gonna be the happiest day of my life.
You gotta stop this right now. What if he beats Gilbert Burns? Then what you gonna say? Then you got to come back on the podcast and apologize to the people.
No, because Burns lost to Usman and he lost to Kamzat. So I mean, okay. I'm gonna join on that bandwagon you were on before, calling him a fraud, calling Burns a fraud.
I think we both agree the fight to make is Conor Masvidal. Or
it's 100% the fight to make.
I don't want to see Gilbert Burns beat the hell out of this man, because Gilbert Burns will beat the hell out of this man. We got to talk about your man Cejudo, bro. We got to talk about this guy. I think I'm tired of the Cejudo experiment, bro. This weekend was obviously International Fight Week, so there was a lot of people in Vegas, a lot of people around the fights. There were people being inducted to the Hall of Fame, so a lot of fighters around. In these 3 days, Cejudo called out on camera, had beef with Aljo, Suga Sean, and Volkanovski. He is cutting promos on everybody that he runs into who's even remotely near his size, which means that he's doing nothing. Like, if he's actually back in the testing pool and ready to go, that's cool. I love that. That's amazing. I would love to see Cejudo fight. But if you're thinking about the marketing standpoint and trying to get a fight to be made and trying to get the UFC to see, hey, this is the fight to make, you can't just walk around calling out everybody, bro. What is Dana supposed to do with the fact that you called out 3 or 4 fighters in 3 days? Like, what are we as the public supposed to be like? We're supposed to all agree we want to see Cejudo fight A or B or C. You can't just go around calling out everybody. You look unserious, and I'm tired of Cejudo doing this. He's been doing this for years now, especially over the last 6 months. Like, who does this man want to fight? Just tell me who you want to fight, Cejudo. Just give us one way to point all of our energy in one direction, and let's go in that direction, bro. Let's do it. Like, he got to stop this. I'm tired of seeing these videos. I'm tired of this, bro.
Honestly, I don't pay it any attention. Like, I'm at the point where I don't believe any of it. So it's just kind of like, man, yeah, I'm off the Triple C experience. I feel the same way about John Jones. Like, I love John, but like, until he signs something, I'm not gonna get in too much of a tizzy about it.
That's fair. That's fair. Because they've told us lies before, and there's only so many lies you're gonna put up with before you realize that this dude might not be serious about ever getting in there.
Yeah,
like, we got to see you in there. John, I agree. John Jones, Cejudo, y'all dudes are on watch. I don't want to hear no more talk, bros. The only talk I want to hear is the contract has been signed. I'm fighting so-and-so on so-and-so date. Then we in. We want to see y'all fight. It's not about the fights.
I don't even know if I want to see Henry fight.
Damn.
Honestly. I mean, he was good, but he was great. But he wasn't anyone that I felt like was just like must-see TV. That's what UFC has a lot of that right now. Like, it's great guys that were good, and it's just like,
but good fighters, but they might not be.
Do they move the needle?
Yeah, there you go.
The greatest, and Lord Jesus, I don't want to say this and compare it to Tiger Woods, but you know how Tiger Woods is like the needle of golf.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watch golf. I don't watch every tournament, but I watch almost every Masters. And, if it's a big name tournament for the most part. But, like, there's plenty of guys in golf that are really good, but, like, you're not tuning in, right?
You don't turn on the. Yeah, I only turn on golf when
When
Tiger is golfing.
Exactly.
Like, or if it's like the last day of it's a Sunday and it's close and it's at that point I don't like if it's a major and it's the last day, it doesn't really matter who's in it. But if it's close, somebody's down by one stroke on 13, I'm probably gonna tap in because I want to see how it ends. But if it's Tiger, I'm gonna pay attention the whole 4 days. I'm gonna make sure I'm seeing.
So it's kind of like that. It's like if somebody put up a tweet and it's like, "Oh, Justin Thomas is leading Sunday," everybody's like, "Oh, okay,
that's cool."
So I feel like that's kind of like the same thing with them. Like, it's not something that you're going to just be like, "Oh, Triple C's fighting." It's like, okay, yeah, he's fighting, but John Jones is fighting. Now that's a totally different thing.
John Jones, I would. That is somebody I'm turning the TV on for. It doesn't matter who John Jones fought at heavyweight. I definitely would tune in because it's John Jones. I just have to see what he looks like as a heavyweight. I just want to see it. Like, I'm just curious about what he even looks like.
It's been 2 years.
He's huge now, bro. He's so big. It's so weird to see him like that. I can't wait to see what his striking looks like, how fast he is. I can't wait to see it. I'm tired of the talk, bro. I want to see the guy in the ring.
The thing that's going to suck is it's going to remind us of how boring John Jones fights are, too.
Only if he dominates people like he used to be.
I mean, even when he wasn't dominating, it was still like his Reyes fight was kind of like, okay.
Shit, he was getting pieced up. I was having a great time. I was like, John Jones about to lose this fight.
See, but that's why people would tune in for him. Some people want to see him win. Some people
Definitely
love him and want him to continue to win. And then your casual just knows him as a name. So they're going to tune in.
John Jones is the Homelander of the UFC. So people definitely were tuning in to root against that man because he is a super villain, bro.
Nah, he's Black Noir. That son got mental health issues. He damn sure. I know John. John does coke, and he is literally at Chuck E. Cheese watching the animals run around somewhere.
Oh my god! What else we got here? Charles says that he will fight Islam, and I'm throwing a flag on this, bro. So the whole time Charles has been talking about a Conor fight. He wants to fight Conor, even though we all knew Conor wasn't coming back until probably next year. Right. So fast forward, Volk won this weekend very impressively. And instead of calling out somebody at his weight class, Volk said, I want to go up and fight Charles Oliveira. And the next day, Charles came out and was like, I'm fighting Islam. And after I beat Islam, he tried to throw some spice at the end. After I beat Islam, hopefully Khabib can kind of come out of retirement because he's been talking too much, which is great. I want to see Islam Khabib. I want to see Islam Charles. I love that fight. I also wouldn't mind seeing Volk Charles. And it felt like to me, and this is probably not the case because Islam and Volk are both extremely tough fights for different reasons, but it felt like convenient for me that after he'd been screaming Conor, didn't say anything about Islam, now you get called out by Volk, and now you want to talk about Islam. I'm happy with either of these fights. Or if he waits for Conor, I'm happy with that too. Charles is really him. So I don't want to say that he's scared of Volkanovski, but I thought it was very convenient that he switched directions in that way the day after Volk called him out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about any of those fights. Like, I feel like it's
you out of your mind. You Volk Charles. I don't know who I would.
No. I'm fine with Volk moving up, but I feel like that's not going to. I don't know if Dana's going to do that.
I don't think it's going to happen now either. And plus, I want Charles to be the actual. I know that he's the actual champion, but like, I don't want Volk to go fight for an empty belt. I want Volk to go fight for Charles's belt. And I don't even know if Charles is going to beat Islam, so I can't even jump that far ahead. But I think that the Islam fight's going to be made. I don't think that Volk's going to be able to go up yet, despite him talking about it.
And I feel like I don't think Dana's too keen in the men's side of them having 2 division belts. Like, I felt like he was kind of fine with it with Izzy because Izzy at the time, and still is at the time, a big draw personality-wise. Mm-hmm. So if Izzy was that, fine. But I don't know if he wants a guy Volk that charisma-wise doesn't move the needle. Like, what was he saying? What was he saying at the end of the fight? Like, believe in yourself or some shit?
Yeah, he was saying, anybody that's ever bullied you, look, I showed them. Believe in yourself. Don't let anybody push you around.
It was 1 a.m. and I was kind of like, what is this? It's like, what is this PSA, this middle school PSA he is giving us? Like, not to say that I'm pro bullying or anything, but bro, you're a grown man. Like, okay, like, hopefully anybody being bullied. First off, if you're getting bullied as an adult, that's not cool. Like, oh, you don't need to let that ride. First off, so
don't let people know that you're
and then if you're high school, middle school age, maybe your high school is up, right? So okay, maybe it reached them. Middle schooler damn sure shouldn't be up at no 1 in the morning watching UFC. So like you miss your demographic there, bro. So like if you're talking to an adult who got bullied, bro, no, that is a swaggerless person that we don't need to reach out to. So
I want to know who tried to bully Volk because that's a bad day.
Somebody did. 5'6". You see how
he got an Australian accent. You think it's
sweet
about
that fight
until he started beating your ass.
I thought about that this weekend. Me and my wife went to the downtown market, and I was looking at this dude, and he had on like a something Relentless MMA, which is like a gym here in the area. And I was like, damn, I bet you somebody don't try to like fuck with him, and he would like fuck you up. He was little as shit too. But I was like, don't do it. I was thinking in my head, I was like, what if I punch him? You ever think stupid shit in your head like that? No, you would, of course. But
what happened if I punched him?
Yeah, it's like, what if I just punch the shit out of him and then I get beat up?
If you didn't know who Volkanovski was, you ran up on him. He got an Australian accent. He's real short. You would think this man dude
beat the shit out of one of the best boxers ever, brothers. Y'all that ain't it,
bro. We'll get there, but I just cannot believe Volkanovski did to Max what Max did to Cater. That's insane to me.
It was worse.
My mouth was open the whole time. Pause. I couldn't believe it. I was like, Volk is really him, but like
we gave him respect. And like me and you were tweeting and we were like, hey, we're giving him respect. He's the one. And I don't take that back. But like the day after, like, is that what you're still thinking about? Not really. Like think about after John won several times or after Francis or somebody like that won, you're like, damn, that shit all week you're thinking like, okay, Francis is great. John is great. Usman. Like after that Masvidal knocked out, I swear that shit carried me for about a month. I thought about that. So, but like with this, it's like, damn, Sunday came over. I was like, damn, that was a cool fight. But all right, let's move on to the next.
I don't even know what you do. We'll get to the pay-per-view because I got some takes. I got some fucking takes about Volk. What else I got? Kazmat called out Alex Pereira after Alex Pereira beat Sean Strickland. And Izzy said his name specifically because we know that's going to be the next fight. Kazmat called him out, which I thought was weird. You know how I feel about calling a nigga out once he just get his championship shot. Bro, I understand Kazmat wants the championship shot, and he wanted that fight. He
wants it the quickest way he can get it.
He wants it the quickest way, and Alex is about to get his after 3 fights. I understand that, but it's a special circumstance. Alex has beaten this man. He only came over here to get this fight. Like, he came over here to get the easy fight, knowing it's going to make huge money, and it's going to be a big, big, big fucking deal. Why are you calling him out? I thought it was trash, but I understand Kazmat is frustrated because he wants to get a title shot as quick as possible, and he don't even have the fight lined up to make him the number one contender yet. Like, you don't even know. Nothing. So I understand his frustration, but come on, bro. Like, I don't think they have him
fight Kamaru that soon either. I really don't think so. I think they love what he's at. I mean, he's a great champ. He doesn't have charisma, but people still like him just because of how dominant he is, which doesn't make sense because you would think the same thing for Volk, but it's a little bit different. You know how you be
slandering DC suits? We're going to have to talk about Kamaru Usman's dressing at some point.
That's that Nigerian in him, brother. I hate to put it out there, but that's just that Nigerian in him, brother.
What is he doing with some of these outfits, bro?
That is. You already know, T. Don't even know why you're trying to put me in this spot. You already know what that is. That is. Whew, that's all that is. You seen his mama and daddy when they came in the ring too. The fit don't fall far from the tree. That man had on a blue suit with some cutoff, some shorts. Had the shirt open. I don't know what son was doing. Well, but who gonna say something to him though? Well, you see a man dressed like that on the street and you know it's him. What you gonna say? It's different talking trash to like an NBA player or something. Like if I saw Westbrook, I would say something. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be an asshole. But
we know Usman can fight.
Yeah,
we know that for a fact.
You put a goal in front of you and you in the clear.
He gonna miss you all day the rim right in front of your face.
He might hit the kid or the baby or the wife, but he ain't hitting that goal long as in front of you.
Oh my God.
Michael Chandler says, while Charles Oliveira is waiting for Conor, he obviously said this before Charles kind of switched directions and started talking about Islam, but he said he's going to keep the division warm while Charles Oliveira is waiting for Conor. And he got into it with Dustin Poirier. I thought Dustin Poirier did a really good job with this. They started arguing about something.
Apparently, Michael Chandler said something very rude about his family. That's the rumor. Who knows? Because the video, you can't really hear them. They're in a loud arena. They're yelling at each other. But DP and Chandler have been beefing. And if I remember correctly, this goes back to when they asked Michael Chandler who he would want to fight at 170. He named a couple of people and did not name Dustin Poirier. And then Dustin Poirier was like, why did he name me? And then Michael Chandler basically said, I didn't not name him on purpose. I just forgot about him. But there was some beef there already because when Michael Chandler first came to the UFC, Dustin Poirier kind of like turned his nose up at him and said like he hasn't earned anything. He hasn't earned a fight with me. So these two dudes have been chirping back and forth for a little bit of time. They had a very direct confrontation at 276. And I love this fight. Let's make this fight, bro. DC's been looking for a fight. Michael Chandler should be about ready to fight because he didn't take much damage in his Tony Ferguson fight. I love this fight. Let's do it. Michael Chandler don't have to cut no weight. DC don't have to cut no weight. Like DP don't have to cut no weight. Like I think it would be a pretty good fight. And I don't know who I would pick.
Yeah.
You like both your sons. So
I like both of them. But I don't know. And I feel like it's so much unsettled in the UFC. And I feel like every week we don't get any clarity. Like every big pay-per-view, it's like, oh, we get zero clarity of where things are going. That's by
design. They keep you hooked. You always think like, yeah, but what if so-and-so fought so-and-so? Sometimes you really don't know. Like, I don't know who I would pick if Michael Chandler or DP fought. I have no idea.
Yeah.
They are arguing. So if they keep arguing, then they're gonna make the damn fight just for promo reasons. So we'll see if they keep arguing. Josh Emmett showed up to this event because obviously he's in the same division as Volkanovski. He wants to fight Volkanovski next. But when he showed up to the event,
they had that man in the seats.
They had that man in the nosebleeds, which means that they weren't trying to do any promo. You remember Yuri was there when Glover won the belt, and as soon as Glover won the belt, he looked at Yuri. They showed the next guy, right? They showed the same thing with Izzy and Alex Fajeda. Alex Fajeda was sitting out at ringside for the Izzy fight. They showed Alex Fajeda when Izzy was talking about him. They couldn't show Josh Spencer. That man was in row 17, 11B. Like he was way out there in the nosebleeds, and he had to realize, oh, they're not putting my ass on camera from way over there. Josh Emmett's a great fighter. I like Josh Emmett. He has no personality at all. And so it's going to be a struggle for him to get this fight. Volk is already talking about going up, and me and you don't think he's going to be able to go up, but I don't really know who you put Volk in there with. And I know if you put Volk in there with any of those dudes at featherweight, he's going to beat the dog shit out of him. There's nobody in that division that can touch that man. Maybe it's Bryce Mitchell, but he's going to have to show me something against a top 5 to 7 guy before I could say Bryce Mitchell is going to give Volk problems, because Volk is just him. And if he get in there, if Josh Emmett gets that fight, more power to you, Josh. You're going to get smoked, brother. It's going to be nasty. Volk is on a different level, bros. That man is not playing with y'all. I know you hate PFL, but Kayla Harrison got that dog in her. She back up. She back where she's supposed to be. She got another finish. Kayla Harrison's supremacy forever and always.
She's fighting like random people after they get out their shift at Victoria's Secret.
Listen, Anakin slaughtered the younglings before he started fighting against the real niggas. Like it just happens that way. But let's tap into the pay-per-view. And I'm going to let you start with our main event because I know you want to get your bars off. So please give me your recap of our main event because I have a lot to say on this fight.
No, I mean, besides, again, I want to apologize for everybody that lost. I'm not refunding your money if you bet on it. That's on you. You're a grown adult. You make your own decisions. I'm sorry you were swayed by me. You need to know better. Did you end up
betting on it? You said you were going to bet on it.
I bet on it. Yeah.
Oh, well.
I need
to. He lost money with y'all. He
loves y'all enough to lose
money with y'all.
I'm not betting again until college football season starts. I'm done with this shit. I had some hot takes tonight. I don't think I would walk any of them back. I don't feel as strong about
for the people that might not have been watching your Twitter. What were your hot takes?
I just still feel like Izzy wasn't that impressive. He was point fighting like always. I hate Cannonier, I just don't understand the strategy. Right? When he was getting close with Izzy, even some of the times when he was fighting Izzy in the clinch, he was doing work. And every time he put himself in danger to close the gap, he was fine. But he went away from it. It was just so strange to try to sit there and do exactly what we told you not to do, get in the range fight with Izzy. And I think one of the things that do. And I think what made it even more perplexing from my standpoint was he took some shots from Izzy and none of them knocked him down. Yep. So it's like one thing if you
he didn't even get stumbled. It's not like he got
it's like one thing if you get clipped a few times and you're like, okay, I gotta keep my distance because he's got the power to kind of hurt me. But you didn't even get damaged. So the fear at that point should be gone. Another thing I felt like is, okay, in the late rounds, you kind of know where you are. You're not winning the fight. So you've got to take even more chances.
They were in the later rounds. They told him in the corner. They literally was like, you have to get a knockout right now. You got to finish this guy. You're not winning the fight. Like, you're down.
Yep. And then even in late rounds, because a guy's tired, that threat of being knocked out goes down. Well, let's say this. The power that a guy's hitting you with goes down at that point just off of tired. Not the chances that you get knocked out because you're more tired too. So it could be, same chance. But that's even more of a reason you should go in and get Hector. Izzy's a great fighter. I don't want to take that away from him. His routine is annoying sometimes.
Like, I want to walk out.
No, the walkout was super fire. It was super fire. Okay. But just his other stuff with press conferences. Sometimes he acts. I root for him because he's black. That's a given thing. But it's just like
Aljo's black too, though.
No, he's not. I don't know what he is. I don't fuck with Aljo. But with like Usman and stuff, they don't give you as much cringe shit as Izzy does. Izzy gives you a lot of shit that's just kind of like, bro, you put me in a bad spot. It's not quite Bryce Mitchell. I love Bryce Mitchell. But it's just like, Izzy, relax a little. It's just a little bit, yeah. And he walks the line so much as a company man. That also makes me very sick. But I don't take anything away from him. The one thing I do say, and I probably shouldn't even have this thought or take, but it's like, bro, if you're this arrogant and you've got all these, outrageous walkouts, like you're walking out as the fucking Undertaker, go do something. Like, really? No, seriously, we shouldn't be bored out of our mind. Out of his fights, he knocked out Whitaker and Whitaker won, right?
He did.
He knocked out, let me try to think. He knocked out Costa. All right. Other than that, what has he done? All right. The Silva
he got
fight.
2 decisions over Vittori.
And bro,
the decision over Whitaker 2.
Whitaker 2 was a really good fight. It was still a decision, but it was a good fight. I don't think I fought him. When he fought Silva, first off, that's not the Silva. That's not legend Silva.
Our Silva. Yes, facts.
But even in that fight, it wasn't impressive. Silva was fine. I mean, it was just like, yeah. What was it? Romero. Oh my God, that was the worst damn fight humanly possible. That's in my top 10 worst fights. Right? That was awful. He did beat golly, what's the chubby boy's name?
Gastelum.
Yeah. Okay, good fight.
Great fight, but he didn't finish him.
But outside of that,
no, that was a decision, I believe.
But outside of that, is he that impressive? My favorite. Let me take that back. I'm not gonna say is he that impressive. Is his resume elite, and is he entertaining to that point? Because think about it. My favorite thing about Usman is once he moved up, he started headhunting. Maybe that's not the greatest strategy. And I love GSP, so I know people are like, GSP was boring. You fucking lie. GSP did have some boring fights.
He had some boring fights. He did.
But I also like the grappling aspect of it. So for me, somebody grappling isn't like, I'm going to be bored. Like, I think that's a really cool, you're still like really, really engaging, I feel like, and you have to show a level of a high skill set to do that. So I'm impressed, but I get it. I understand how people think GSP was bored in several fights. But with Kamaru, man, once he became the champ, he literally will try to end you. And I think that's the most amazing shit humanly possible. I think we kind of see it with Volk. Volk won, got confidence, and he's like, okay, I'm the one. I'm going to absolutely destroy you.
I'm about to go out there and tear y'all heads off.
Because that's, when we get in that fight, you kind of talk about it. But, like, that's so cool when I feel like guys know they're that good and they put on that type of show. I would much rather see a show in the ring than outside the ring. And if you're going to put on a show outside the ring, you damn sure need to be able to back it up inside the ring.
That's fair. I felt like, so I agree with you. The fight wasn't that entertaining. I was not that entertained during the fight. I loved the walkout. I was very hyped, but I knew this fight was going to play out exactly like it did. And I don't blame Izzy at all because Izzy dominated the fight. He was never in trouble. I blame Cannonier 125%. Cannonier is 38 years old, bro. He's not getting another title shot. Okay, you have a game plan that you go in there. You want to execute your game plan. That's cool. I can give you 3 rounds of the game plan. Okay, cool. We're sticking to the game plan. It's not necessarily working, but we're going to find our opening. Once we get to those championship rounds and you are down 3 rounds, because I think that one of the judges gave him round 4, I think it was. But before that, it's like, bro, you have to turn up. And if Izzy is in a close fight, like Whitaker 2 was a close fight, right? Izzy won the fight, but it was a very close fight. Those rounds were, it can go either way. So if to the extent that fight was boring, which I don't think it was, I was there, I had a great time. To the extent that if people thought that fight was boring, I could blame both of them. When this fight is boring, I can only blame Cannonier because Izzy is doing everything he's supposed to do. Izzy is a counter fighter. And I'm not saying Cannonier is supposed to go in there and get knocked out. What I'm saying is Cannonier is supposed to go in there, and once he realizes that he's losing a point fight, like you said, Izzy is point fighting me, and he's much better at this. And I'm fighting from range, and I can't hit him the same way he can hit me. I'm losing the fight like this. You have to change the fight, and you have to go in there and risk it all for this knockout. You are 38 years old, brother. Izzy left that fight without a scratch. You are bigger and stronger than this man. You going for these weak-ass little baby takedowns at the end, bro. You should have been in that dude's grill from start to finish. So I blame mostly Cannonier for that. But I will say since the Jan fight, Izzy has been more cautious, but also he's never been in trouble in those 3 fights. So I can't necessarily blame him for fighting in a way that protects himself. He's trying to counter fight, and y'all got to bring it to this guy, or else he's going to sit back there and punch your face off and land leg kicks and land jabs, and he's going to win by decision. And I guess I came away equally as unimpressed with the fight, but I was very impressed with Izzy, as I always am. And I was just very unimpressed with Cannonier. I said going in, there's a person on this card who can go fight Izzy and maybe beat Izzy and give us a very entertaining fight with Izzy, and it's not Cannonier. He just doesn't have the fight style that I thought would make it a compelling and competitive fight, and it wasn't a compelling or competitive fight. Izzy has said, we'll skip around. We'll come back to Volk, but Izzy said Alex Pereira, when he won, called out Izzy. Then Izzy, who I always appreciate this, but this is about Izzy, he always sets up the next fight right after the fight is over. So he's already saying Alex Pereira, and he's already been talking about Alex Pereira. He's not ducking the smoke. He's not trying to run from the fact that this dude has 2 wins over him in kickboxing. He's accepting that challenge, and I think that is the best fight that you can make for Izzy right now in that division because of that history. As we told y'all before, Alex Pereira has 2 wins over him in kickboxing and 1 knockout. But if you watch the fight where he knocked Izzy out, Izzy was dominating the fight for the whole time until he got knocked out. So this is a really compelling matchup, and I think this will solve a lot of the fans were not happy with Izzy's last performance, and they thought that he should be more impressive. I think we're going to get a guy in there who's going to go in there and press Izzy and going to force Izzy to fight in a more entertaining fashion. I knew Alex Pereira was going to knock Sean Strickland out because I told y'all on the podcast, Sean Strickland, there were rumors that Sean Strickland wasn't going to wrestle. And he told John Anik before the fight, I'm going to kickbox with him. And if I'm seeing the punches and the kicks, I'm going to keep kickboxing with him. But to the extent that I'm not seeing it well anymore, I'm going to go take him down. Bro, you don't get a chance to, if you're not seeing the punches, you're not going to know you're not seeing them until you wake up on the mat. That's exactly what happened. This Pereira dude is strong as shit. His body is made of steel. He is literally built different. He's been knocking dudes out with kicks and punches his whole life. Like, the fact that Sean Strickland thought he was going to go in there and do some strong white man jabs and beat an actual kickboxer at kickboxing is insane. What is the game plan? He did not attempt a takedown. He didn't try to grapple. He didn't try to get in close. He literally just stood there and kickboxed with a dude who's been kickboxing his whole life, and he got knocked the fuck out. Like, I knew Sean Strickland was going to do some dumb shit like that. So now we set up this fight that I'm very excited about. It's going to be Fajeda. It's going to be Izzy. This is the third time they're going to share some ring space together. And this is a promoter's dream. I could not be more excited that right now Izzy is favored in that fight in the books that have posted it. It was very close. And I cannot This is probably my most anticipated fight for the rest of the year, assuming it happens this year. I can't wait to see this fight. What did you think of the Strickland Fajeda fight, and what do you think of Izzy Fajeda?
It was absolutely, like you said, it was the dumbest strategy humanly possible. Like literally, he was walking. I don't know. I've like when you told me, you said on the bar, you was like, "Yeah, buddy isn't practicing any wrestling." I was like, "Okay, that's fine, but okay." You had to get same thing with Izzy. You had to get close. You had to make this a different type of fight. You were getting sniped at range and doing nothing about it. Like it was just,
he did that.
Like he's dumb. I feel confident in saying he's dumb because of the stuff he says on social media and everything. Not social media because he got kicked off social media, but in press conferences and everything else.
How you get kicked off social media, but Bryce Mitchell still has an account? Like that means you saying wilder stuff than Bryce Mitchell, bro.
Bryce Mitchell knows what he's doing. He knows how to the liberal agenda doesn't want him to get, he knows what to say on social media. Sean was saying the key trigger words to get kicked right off.
Facts.
But like it's one thing to be stupid and say stupid stuff, but he believes this stupid stuff. And that was literally what he showed us. He believed that he could go in there. He believed that this guy couldn't knock him out, despite evidence we've seen him knock people out. He tried to discredit kickboxing, which again, kickboxing is like a legit thing. Like, I mean, it's not like it's some made up, I don't even know how you would explain it. Like, it's like, it's not like this man has the force and it's like, imagine if somebody's like, oh, I'm not worried about his Star Wars force that he uses in a UFC match. Okay, understandable. That's not real. Kickboxing is very real, brother. So you can't just say you're not worried about it because this man literally knocked you out and has knocked other people out. But he literally just walked into it. And it's like, sometimes people have too much self-belief, right? And he is the perfect example of how you shouldn't always, people always say, yo, believe in yourself. No, not everybody. Everybody should believe in themselves. And this man is the perfect example of somebody that needs some coaching and guidance or something.
Facts.
And I'm sure his coaches, I don't know if they've said anything yet, but I'm sure that was not in their agenda either for him to go do that stupid shit.
You don't even try a takedown. Like I can understand if you tried the takedown, it wasn't working. But the dude Alex Fajeda has shown us in his last fight that sometimes he can stop a takedown, but sometimes he can't. Like it's not like he has ironclad takedown defense to where you don't even try a takedown against the guy.
Think about it. When Jared, going back to that fight, when Jared did try to take downs on Izzy, it bought him so much time from a sense of Izzy was totally different in his attacking. It was something he had to think about. He didn't get a takedown, I don't think so, that I remember, but still, it was something for them to think about. Like in fighting, as much as people want to, if you're a casual, you're thinking, like, oh, they're just in there scrapping. But no, it's a lot of fight IQ stuff that goes into this. Thanks. So if you've got a guy that has to second guess something, then that's going to put a little bit slowing down his attacking and things of that nature. So it was just an awful strategy, but it couldn't happen to a better guy. It was a great outcome. I picked Sean, but trust me, when I saw this in it, I was not hurt in the least bit. I didn't care. It was perfectly fine because that was just awful. Now, for what you said about the prospects of setting up our fight, it's cool because it's going to create a great narrative. Like you said, a lot of people, if you go back and watch those fights, Izzy wasn't getting destroyed. Izzy was working him, especially in the first one.
He was literally working that man.
So I just worry about mentally what it's going to do for him. Because, again, this got to be in the back of your mind that you've lost to him. And on the flip side, for Alex, you've confident because you know you've beat him twice.
But you don't want to be too confident because you know he was whooping your ass at points of that fight, too.
But I always feel like it's hard to beat somebody like the third time. Like, if you lost I don't even know if there's been an instance where somebody has won the third time.
Volk just did it, but that's it.
No. I'm talking about like you've won the third time after losing.
Who lost. Oh, got it.
Like I don't think that's ever happened. Like Figgy and Brandon have fought so many times,
but
it's been like it's been like every other. So I don't know. I wish we could have like some stats about that in other fighting arenas, but I don't think that's a good thing.
I can't think of one. Maybe there's some in boxing.
The bad thing is though, like it doesn't happen. Like,
because you don't get a
super
third
rare.
fight if you lose the first two fights.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see the third fight.
Yeah, so that's kind of hard from a data point, but it's going to be interesting to see. It is the match to make at this point. I mean, we have nowhere else to go. So
I love it. The matchmaking there. This guy was brought over here specifically for this, and they fast tracked him for sure. But I don't care. I want to see it. But we got to talk about the man of the hour, bro. And I got to come out here and say, I thought Max was not only the greatest featherweight of all time, I thought he was the current best featherweight in the world. Walking into that octagon, I literally thought that. I thought Max won the second fight. He made the adjustments. I think Volk won the first fight with the leg kicks. Max made the adjustments. He knocked this guy down twice and somehow didn't get the decision, but that's cool. We get the third fight. From the beginning, Volk had a different level of swag. He was talking shit immediately in that ring. He was jabbing Max's face off. And for some reason, he made Max look 3 times as slow as him. Like, I couldn't believe – I've never seen anything like that. When you watch those first 2 fights, even if you think Volkanovski won, Volkanovski didn't look head and shoulders faster than Max. Nobody looks head and shoulders faster than Max. Max is him. Volkanovski looked like Max was fighting in weights. Like, Max had a weighted jacket on or some shit like that. Like, he was just so much faster, but you can't get that much faster. But I know Max is only, 30, 31? I know Max didn't get that much slower. He ain't even been taking a beating in his last couple of fights. I don't know how Volk did this. I legitimately don't know how Volk did this. Like, these two people were pretty much even for 2 fights. For 50 minutes of shared octagon time, these 2 dudes were pretty much equal. And now we got another 25 minutes, and Volk is 3 times better than Max. I couldn't believe it. I'm still floored by it. I had the exact opposite reaction of you. I can't stop thinking about it. How did he get that much better? Is Max washed? How is there that big of a chasm?
I think Volk is really good. I mean, we kind of said it. We've seen it with his last couple of fights, besides Korean Zombie, but his Ortega fight was like really good. I just think it's a combination of things. I think one is you fought 2 times and you lost. I think it's also the fact that, you have a guy that has a great skill set and he's kind of getting more confident in his abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if this would apply, but I think sometimes, like, even in sports, I always try to relate stuff that I like remember and actually, recall with sports. But like, when you playing like the scrub games, like when you playing a team that's awful, it does do a lot for your confidence. Like, you feel good about it. So like, I think for Korean Zombie, he beat the shit out of Korean Zombie. So it was kind of like, okay, like I feel I'm even more confident before. So I think just having that supreme confidence really helped him a lot.
His confidence got to be feeling crazy right now.
No, it is, because it has witnessed suggested moving up. Max didn't even
compete in this fight, bro. Like,
but I feel like for Max, on the same side, he has the mental block of, I've lost to this guy twice, and I think even early on, I feel like if you're going to have this trilogy and you've been down so many times, you have to come out the gate. You have to absolutely come out the gate and win that first round, or else your confidence is going to be, oh shit, here we go again. I feel like that was very much a sense for him. It's like, okay, he's tagging me, he's moving around good. And you kind of saw it in Max's demeanor. After that first round, Max was, I think at one point, his coaches were kind of like fussing at him. And he's like, yeah, I know, coach, I got to do. And I was like, damn, you kind of sound defeated. I can't remember what he said exactly. I need to go back and watch it. But he was getting some type of coaching, and the way he was like, yes, sir, yes, sir. And it was just kind of like,
I hear that.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, all right, I don't know.
I think at that point he knew, like, oh, it's not gonna be my night. Like,
yeah.
And Max is not a guy that's gonna go get a knockout, because he's more of a, I'm gonna beat the shit out you over time and wear you down to where I can finish you, but probably later in the fight. But Volk is just, that cut that Volk opened up on Max was, this shit was, his whole forehead was open.
And I was tweeting it during the fight, but I was just it was so weird that they didn't look at that.
The doctor didn't even check it. This shit was gaping.
And that's why I was every time I was kind of tweeting it, like nobody else. Well, I can't really see my mentions half the damn time, but Like nobody else was like, oh yeah, this is kind of concerning. They could look at it. So I was like, damn, maybe I'm being overly sensitive. But to me, that shit was awful.
That shit was
And I'm surprised
disgusting.
I'm surprised he didn't at least have the doctor come look at it.
The doctor didn't even come look. I guess props to the cut man for doing
No,
good
there
work
wasn't
on
no
it, so
props because
maybe
that shit was squirting. That man put that Q-tip in there and it was like literally squirting. I was like, oh my God. Like, please look at this.
Volk has won 23 fights in a row. There's nobody fighting at featherweight that I would pick over him right now. He is him. And I think we have done a good job of giving Volk his respect on this podcast. But I have a new level. Every time Volk fights, I have a new level of respect for the guy. He don't run from nobody. He don't dodge no call-outs. He fight whoever the guy he's supposed to fight, and he goes in there and he does the work and he gets out and he want to fight every fucking 3 months. Like, you can't think of a better guy as champion. I agree with you. He doesn't have the greatest personality, so like he's not that popular. But if he keep fighting like that, he's gonna get more popular because nobody is close to this guy right now. If you could beat Max Holloway like that, you could beat anybody at featherweight like that. You might be able to beat Charles Oliveira like that, but Charles Oliveira is also him. I'm not picking against Charles. I'm not picking against Volk ever again either. I don't know who I would pick if they fought. But if we both agree that we don't think that Volk is going to go up because they're not going to let him go up yet, who do you want to see him fight at featherweight? What's the next fight for him? Book his fight.
You know who I want to see him fight, but I know that's not going to happen anytime soon. Golly, I'm trying to think of who you could have him fight, and I don't really know.
You know I love Spencer, but Spencer, you're going to get your ass whooped in that. Spencer won a controversial decision against Calvin Kattar. Like, Calvin Kattar got beat by Max Holloway like he stole something. I know you can't always use the transfer property, but Spencer going to get his ass. Well, I'm putting money on Volk first round knockout if he fights Spencer. And I love the way Spencer fights. That's a knockout, bro. Volk can wrestle. Volk can grapple. Volk can box. Leg kicks don't seem to hurt the guy. You can choke him for 30 minutes and he's not going to get choked out. Like, how do you fucking beat this guy? He's the Terminator. Yeah, I have no idea what's the strategy. What do I tell Josh Spencer? Why you calling that man? Emmett. Josh Emmett. What do I tell Josh Emmett? Hey, here's your strategy to beat Volk. I have no idea what the strategy is to beat Volk. He's shown us that he can win in every position.
Yeah, I feel like that's the fight you have to make for the sake of making it. But I think if they're smart, they're going to they've got to give Bryce upper level fight to see where he is.
You also got Yair fighting Ortega on ABC soon. And
but
Yair gets a big finish. Maybe they put him in there. That'll be fun.
I give Yair the benefit of the doubt because it was so long since he's fought.
True.
But I don't know what you do there.
It might be all elementary. I don't think any of these dudes, with all due respect to your boy Bryce Mitchell, I don't think any of them dudes are beating Volk.
I don't think Bryce would beat him at all. I do think Bryce with time would pose issues on the ground. I mean, that's the one thing.
If that gets to the ground, I think he's in trouble. But again, I said the same fucking shit about Brian Ortega. I said the same thing.
Yeah, I agree.
It just don't. This dude is. I'm trying to think if there's anybody who I think is further ahead than their next best competition in the division in the UFC. I cannot name somebody who I think is further ahead than the next best guy than what Volk just showed us that he is with Max. Because I think that we all agree Max is the next best guy in that division.
Maybe the heavyweights include, since we don't know what John Jones looks like.
We just saw Francis barely beat Gone. I mean, you can count John Jones. We don't know what John Jones looks like.
Francis this man was on a torn ACL.
He did have a bad knee. That's true.
We gotta put some respect on that. But Izzy is heads above his class, but I don't want to see Volk move up because I feel like lightweight is the most logjam division humanly possible too. I don't know if you would just give him a title shot. I mean, you have to, but then I don't know.
Tell me who you're picking right now, knowing that Volkanovski is all of 5'6". Volkanovski, Jalen Turner is booked tomorrow. Who are you picking?
I'll
Jalen Turner
pick
fights at
Volk.
155.
Pick
Why?
Volk.
Jalen Turner
Because
is
he's
6
Volk.
feet tall.
Okay, but Volk has
Besides-
a long reach for as short as
He does have a long reach for a short guy, but Jalen
built like a
Turner,
little orangutan.
Jalen Turner is my size, and he fits into a 155 body. Like,
Okay, but think about how big of a jump that
huge.
is. You went from that to one of the best pound for pound guys. I mean, it's a big jump.
It's always so hard for me to project when people are going up how it translates, because Volk, his size, his stature has never bothered him down here at this weight, but once he goes up, ain't nobody who's the size of Jalen Turner, not just weight. There's nobody who's as big as Jalen Turner at featherweight. You can't fit that little weight into that big of a body. Like, I just want to give props to Jalen Turner. I don't know who I would pick either. I think I would pick Volk just because Volk is really him. But I think that depending on who you're going up to fight, Charles Oliveira is not the biggest dude if that's who you're going up to fight. But there are some people at lightweight who are huge. Jalen Turner is massive. Jalen Turner has got ground skills. Jalen Turner can strike. He looked amazing. What he did to Brad Riddell, he beat him in 45 seconds. It took Fiziev 3 rounds to finish this guy. He went in there and finished him in 45 seconds. This dude trains with Volk and Izzy every day. And Jalen Turner was like, I don't care.
Yeah, but I'm still not good with that one.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Jalen Turner is scary. Jalen Turner is ranked now. 5 straight finishes in his last 5 fights. Jalen Turner is really him. But we got to get to the part we don't want to talk about. And that's that our son, Suga Sean O'Malley, had a no contest with Pedro Munoz. And now I have to either choose to walk back or not walk back my hot takes. So basically what happened here is there was a groin kick that O'Malley says was not a groin kick, but it was stopped as if Pedro Munoz was kicked in the groin earlier in the fight in the first round. And then early in the second, or kind of in the middle of the second round, there was an eye poke, and Pedro Munoz got poked in the eye, so they stopped the fight. And usually you see the fighter try to open their eye and say, I can see, give me a towel, give me some water, like, trying to clear the eye. Pedro Munoz didn't really do that. He was basically like, as soon as he got poked, he was like, he poked me again. Oh my God, he kicked me now. He poked me. I can't see. Didn't really try to open the eye. Obviously was really struggling with it, and basically did not even. They were like, "It's fine. We'll give you time. We'll give you time." He was like, "No, it's not fair." Then, like, basically, it looked like he was trying to get a DQ. He didn't get the DQ, but he got a no contest. Afterwards, they were showing his eye, and he did have a scratch retina, I think it is. So he got poked in the eye. There's no disputing that he was poked in the eye. I didn't like the way that he was so quick to be like, "No, that's it. We're shutting this down." And it gets weirder because Pedro, 2 of 3 judges gave the first round to Pedro, even though I thought they both were just kind of feeling stuff out. Pedro basically won the first round because he landed some leg kicks. I thought Sean was just starting to figure out the timing, and he started to really cook in that second round. And it sucks that this fight didn't get completed. Obviously, Sean, who is an elite troll, then started trolling and saying, I'm the first guy to finish Pedro Munoz, and I was dominating the fight, and Pedro Munoz wanted a way out. So this is kind of where they're at with it. I want to know what you thought of the fight, how it was going, and if you think that they should rebook this fight.
Don't know where the fight was going because I do feel like Suga Sean lost that first round. I mean, just being realistic.
Me too.
The eye poke thing, yeah, I still. Yes, I'm glad he has this medical documentation to back this up, but I still don't buy it. I felt like that fight should have continued on. I don't want to see a rebook.
I just wanted them to try. I just wanted to try. Like, if you try and can't do it, I can't blame you. But I guess it's so rare that you see it happen so fast with a fighter. To me, they're just like, no, I'm not even trying. I don't want that fucking towel. I don't want no 5 minutes. Like, I can't see shit. Like, it's just so rare to see it, I guess, that it felt weird in the moment.
Yeah, and I don't want to see that rebook. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that I want to see. Either keep moving Sean up, or I don't know. I know Munez is going to be like, well, I didn't get my shot because for him, he's not on the same trajectory as Sean.
No, he's on a losing streak.
So for him, I mean, I don't know why you would rebook that in my mind, but I do feel like we need to get Sean back in the ring quick.
I would love to. And if that's the case, it's probably not going to be able to do Pedro. If he has a scratch retina or cornea, like they're saying, then he's going to need some time to heal. I would like to get Sean back in there quick, but in a perfect world, I'd be fine remaking the fight. I thought that they were evenly matched, at least for the little bit of the fight that we saw, and I thought it was the right skill level for Sean to test his skills. I still would, if we rebooked the fight today, I still would pick Sean. I thought he was starting to figure out the timing, and I think he's still going to knock this man out. But I also want to see him get back in there fast. And there are other people in that division, and you can put him in there with a Song Yudong. I would love to go see him fight a Song Yudong. So I want to get him back in there fast as well. Maybe the next pay-per-view, maybe, but maybe down the line, if they do sit Sean down, this could be either on another pay-per-view or they could rebook that fight as like a fight night main event. I'm fine with either way. I'm fine seeing the fight again, but I'm fine if he goes to fight somebody else. But I thought that it was even enough to where I'm at least interested to see what the result would be if we got to finish the fight. And that's really all I could ask for. Now Sean's talking some shit, so we got a little bit more intrigue going into the fight than we had before. So I'd be fine if they rebooked it, but I'd also be fine if they didn't rebook it. I don't really care either way. Who else should we mention here? We should mention the Jim Miller Donald Cerrone fight. Donald Cerrone got retired. He lost to Jim Miller, someone he beat in the past, and now Jim Miller is the UFC leader in UFC wins all time. This guy has had 40 UFC fights. That is unfathomable to me, bro.
I wish
40 UFC fights is insane.
I wish they would have both retired, but we couldn't be that blessed. But yeah, it's good to see Cowboy go.
He said he doesn't love it anymore, bro.
I mean, hell, we could have said that. I mean, hell, I saw that.
When Dana put him in there against Conor, that should have been the end. Dana, you still are a criminal for putting that man in there against Conor. That was a nasty fight, bro. Conor was beating that man ass.
But look, I'm good on that one. I'm completely fine with him walking away. He was a cool guy. He has a cool history, legend.
Probably gonna be in the Hall of Fame. Can't hate on
yes, sadly. But I mean, at this point, like you said, he wants to go be a movie star. I wish him the best. I don't want to see him in the MCU. So I know my boy GSP is in the MCU randomly, but don't put my boy Cowboy out there. Mm-hmm. Now look, this has nothing to do with UFC, but look, we can just go ahead and go with it. That's a random thought. If you had to see Donald in any MCU show, which one would you prefer him in?
Moon Knight, because I'm not watching another season of Moon Knight. That shit stinks.
That is the
put them over there in Egypt. I don't know why Donald Cerrone would be.
You're not gonna have Donald Cerrone in Egypt, brother. He's gonna be making all kind of racial slurs. No, sir. No, sir. I say put that man in Captain America 4 so he can.
Oh, he could be with MAGA Cap. He could be hanging out with MAGA Cap for sure.
Oh yeah, he could be on great for a team. Yeah, that would be perfect.
So. John Walker would be real good buddies.
That's right. So maybe that's what we can see Donnelly in next. Oh, golly.
Ian Gary might be him. He's now 3-0 in the UFC. Now he wants to wait, and he's just had a new kid. He just had a kid, so he wants to raise his kid a little bit. But he said he wants to come back the next time Conor fights. Obviously, they're both Irish. It would be a huge deal for him to be on the same card as Conor. They both have the same exact accent because they're both Irish. And I'm fine with that. Ian Gary looked very impressive against, I think he fought Gabe Green. And I just love the way he boxes. I just something about clean boxing and having a clean jab, especially on a longer guy. It's just so beautiful to me. Dricus Du Plessis is going to break into the rankings. He had a complete fucking war with Brad Tavares. I was very impressed with Brad Tavares. Dricus Du Plessis wants Kelvin Gastelum next. If you remember, that fight was booked and then it fell off for whatever reason. I don't remember what happened, but this fight was booked before. He says he wants that Kelvin Gastelum smoke, and I really love that fight. Like, put that man in there with Gastelum. Gastelum hasn't really been the same since him and Izzy tried to kill each other in there. But Gastelum is very much needed a win, and I love that old kind of veteran guy who really needs a win against the up-and-comer. That's always some of my favorite matchmaking. So I'm into that matchup. I'm into that. Yeah, I don't want to see Uriah Hall anymore. I'm tired of it.
Absolutely not. We're good off that experiment.
You want to talk about gloves in the ring? Uriah Hall, we're done. He looks so mean all the time when he walks into the ring. He's swole, and then he go out there and get absolutely cooked. Muniz looked very impressive, and I don't want to take anything from him. But Uriah Hall is not good, and I'm just tired of seeing it. Macy Barbara got that dog in her, bro. She retired Jessica I, which means she did us all a favor because Jessica I might be more. I'll do respect to Jessica I. Might be one of the more boring fighters in UFC history. She's extremely boring. And she was getting her ass whooped. Macy Barbara was whooping her ass.
Awful.
Macy Barbara was beating the shit out of her. The only thing I have to say, the first fight of the night, Jessica Rose Clark came out to the Shawn Michaels theme, which is amazing. Ariel put her up to this. She did it, and then she literally first fight of the night got her arm literally snapped off the bone, bro. We started the night with somebody's arm getting snapped. That is, I hate watching it, but it's always so crazy when it happens. Stoliarenko snapped her arm off. Then in the post-fight interview, she said, "Oops, I did it again," because she's done this now 3 times. Holy shit. They asked her about it, and she said, "I started getting into trouble with my arm bars. I started getting into trouble where I would lose it, so I just started breaking people's arms." She made that adjustment. And Daniel Cormier said, "That's why I never did jiu-jitsu, because I would go in there and knock a guy out or choke a guy out, but I never wanted to snap people's arms." DC is a absolute killer, bro. At the highest levels of 2 divisions, DC was killing people, and he refused to break people's arms. And this random woman, who most people had never heard of, is just going in there snapping arms off whenever you give her the chance.
Crazy.
I find that so funny. Please don't snap my arm off, bro. Like, give me just a couple seconds to tap. She snapped that girl's arm. She did not wait. She did not hesitate. She snapped that shit immediately, bro. That shit should be illegal. They gotta stop that. This woman is breaking arms every time she gets in there, man. Please don't do that to me. Let me get back in the lab and get it back in blood. Don't have me sitting down. I gotta sit out for 18 months now because you snapped my elbow at the joint. Don't do that to me, bro. How many of these fights are we picking on this card? We are back. This is, I don't even, I fucking lose count of which Vegas we're at. I don't even remember. But this is in the Apex. This is this Saturday. Brother. Let me see. It's not even it's a late card too. Damn, you don't get nothing, bro. The main event is,
I was about to say, might as well just pick the damn main event.
Number 8. Number 7, Rafael Dos Anjos is fighting number 10, Rafael Fiziev. This fight was booked before. It fell off for some reason, and now it's back. It's going to be the main event of a fight night. Fiziev is a minus 205 favorite, and Dos Anjos is a plus 175 underdog. Dos Anjos is a former champion, obviously. But before we pick this fight, let's see if there's anybody you want to call out.
You see Tresean Gore is fighting again.
Oh, he is?
Okay, yes,
my guy Tresean Gore is here.
Wait, I need him to not disappoint me. Yeah, you remember he fought
did he lose it?
Battle. Yeah, you remember he lost.
Oh, he lost. That's right. He did. Damn. David Onama's on this card. He got a great knockout the last time he was fighting.
Kenny's fighting again.
Kenny's fighting again. Okay. I'm into that.
And Baby Shevchenko.
Hey, Baby Shevchenko is garbage. He's garbage. That's a punching bag.
Yeah.
Said Nurmagomedov is really good. He's fighting. That's actually a pretty good fight. Guys. That's about all I got. Michael Johnson is still fighting. He's here.
No, thank you. I'm good. Speaking of rings, not that good. The gloves in the ring.
This card's not that good, so we're just gonna pick the main event here. And I had the lead, so I'm gonna feel confident because I think you're probably gonna fade me because you're gonna try to get it back too early.
Oh no, I'm not.
You're not gonna fade me?
No.
Oh damn,
unless you're making the wrong pick here.
I think you're gonna pick Fiziev. I kind of want to.
Damn sure I am.
Oh fuck! I kind of want to pick RDA.
Go ahead and go on out there. You can take the chance. I'm not.
All right, here's my weird reasoning. Fiziev was in a very, very close and competitive fight with Brad Riddell, and Brad Riddell's last fight before we saw him fight this weekend. And it was a great battle. These two dudes are former training partners. It was a great fight. Jalen Turner just did Brad Riddell all types of dirty and scummy, bro. So I'm starting to doubt how good Brad Riddell is, which makes me I'm starting to doubt how good Rafael Fiziev is. RDA is a former champion. And we saw RDA in there in his last fight, which was supposed to be Fiziev. It ended up being I can't remember some Brazilian guy, but this was in Houston, and RDA beat the shit out of this man, beat the absolute shit out of this man. RDA does not have the reach advantage, which I usually like to pick the guy with the reach advantage, but he definitely has more ways to win. He has 32% of his wins are by submission, only 16% by KO. If this gets to the ground, Fiziev is in absolute trouble. Fiziev does not have the ground game that RDA has. I think RDA is losing on the feet, but finds a way to get it to the ground at some point over the 5 rounds. I'm going to take RDA, the former champion, to win this fight. Boom.
Crazy.
Lock it in.
I'm sorry that you're doing this. You want to know my reason why RDA isn't going to win? I'm going to keep this simple for everybody. I want you to guess. Why do you think?
You're going to say because he needs to leave his gloves in the ring or some bullshit like that.
Close enough. He lost to Leon Edwards. That's all I need to know.
Oh, my God.
Disease.
This is ridiculous.
There's no more commentary. There's no insight. This man lost to Leon Edwards. And I don't know if y'all seen Leon Edwards fight, but that man is a scrub. If you haven't seen him fight, we're going to see him fight soon enough. And it's going to be a quick match that won't go past the second round.
Damn.
This man lost to Leon
Edwards. My guy not going to get a third round?
No. They don't even need to make it a championship fight. Let's just give him 3. This is over and done. Fiziev wins, and I even it back up, right? I'm only down 1.
You're only down 1 fight.
But you've already signed.
It back up.
There we go. Don't text in the middle of the week talking about you want to change it.
I'm not going to switch. Fiziev is not winning this fight. RDA will find a way to get this done on the ground, even if he's getting his ass whooped for 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Don't text me with your victory lap shit, because in round 4 or round 5, RDA going to get this man on the ground, and it's going to be scary hours down there. He's going to land some ground and pound, and he's going to sub this guy. I think he's going to sub him in round 4 to be exact.
Not happening at all. Not even close to happening.
We appreciate y'all definitely tapping in with us. Like we said, July is going to be crazy. This is probably the low point of July with a pretty good main event. And actually, I will give some respect to the co-main. Armin Petrosian and Kyle Barajo are both very, very coming in with a lot of hype coming from different organizations. I think Petrosian has fought in the UFC already, or maybe Barajo has. One of them has fought in the UFC already, and one of them hasn't, but they both have a lot of hype, and they are both different style of fighters. I think this is a pretty good co-main event. This is probably the card I'm not going to watch live, but I'll get to it eventually. But we'll be back here to break it down for y'all. And we got an ABC card this month. We got a London card this month. And we got another pay-per-view at the end of the month. So we got a lot of stuff that we're going to clarify in these divisions over the last couple of weeks. And there's only one place where you need to come to hear people break it down and give you the real talk. And we're not going to lie to you on this podcast.
Not again.
I
apologize. I still apologize for those lies. I was going out of my mind. I think I was drunk.
So make sure you rate and subscribe us. If you want to come on this podcast, let us know. Ladies, we want to have you on this podcast. We got a couple ladies that want to be on the pod, so we're going to have to make that happen at some point. Maybe for the Pena Nunes fight, because I got some takes to get off, because I think Pena's going to win that fight. I can't wait.
We just said that we weren't telling lies, and then you jumped right in with a lie.
Listen, Pena is her. I need the strap, and she's going to keep the belt. I love Pena. She's going to get the win. We're gonna have some ladies on the spot, I think, for that episode, which is gonna be great. I can't wait for that fight. But July is lit, so if there's any time for you to get into the UFC, or you're already into the UFC, July is the time to come to us and listen to us and hear what we got to say. If you like college football, the season is quickly approaching. The Slander U Pod is doing great. It's doing amazing numbers. People are really enjoying it. And we're happy to give it to y'all. So if you're into college football, you got friends that are into college football, tell them to listen to Slander U. We just did Notre Dame. I don't know who we're doing next. You know who we're doing next?
We're in Auburn next week.
Auburn next. Oh, my name is Pablo's coming on.
Pablo
I got to tune in on that. That's gonna be amazing. Pablo is the leader of Auburn Twitter. Every piece of slander we give him is gonna be reverberated around the internet. Those numbers about to go crazy. Those Auburn fans are insane about Auburn. They love Auburn.
I know, we're gonna get attacked with so many memes from him.
I can't fucking wait. So tune into this podcast. Tune into Slander You, and we love y'all. Anything else you got to say before we get out of here?
Again, I apologize for lying to y'all. I was. I'm a piece of shit for that, y'all. I'm sorry.
I'm putting sorry 2004 over this apology.
That's right.
You don't have to hear that.
I really should.
That's crazy.
I really lied to these people. I gave them like a heartfelt message, like a politician, and lied straight to their face. I'm sorry, y'all.
You made for politics, bro. You made it look easy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. It's okay. We're gonna get it back in blood, though.
All right. Well, we out of here. We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we out.